What's going on, YouTube? I'm your host, the Mad, the Dashing, Dash Jovis, and today we're going to do a little bit of a ban list discussion. And in case the thumbnail hasn't given it away, this is a pretty disappointing ban list update for Master Duel. We don't know what's in the new pack yet, and we don't know what they might ban from the new pack. I think there have been some leaks if you want to look those up, but I try not to pay too much attention to the leaks unless something really good is coming out, or seems to be coming out, rather. They have been wrong before, some of them. I mean, some of the leakers are still pretty good, but anyway. So there's only 2 changes to the ban list for this format, and that, to me, is really Wizards dropping the ball. Malice is a toxic deck in Best of 1. It's a little bit of a toxic deck, rather, in Best of 3. But in Best of 3, you can side your Fuwalos, you can side your Lancia, you can side your Meowls, and just call those cards good enough to draw in that matchup to kind of blow them out. But that doesn't create fun games. So even in Best of 3, it's a little bit of a problem. But the real problem is that in Master Duel, it's Best of 1. So you either have the feels bad of having to run Lancia in your main deck in Best of 1, where it's only good in like 25% of your matches, or you have to not run the Lancia and just get cooked by the best deck in the format every time you lose a coin flip. Like, it's not a fun experience playing against Malice, and it's not a fun experience playing with Malice, and Malice will continue to be popular until it gets hit, because it does everything right now. So, what I was hoping for, let's just get this out of the way. What I was hoping for was that they would ban Link Decoder and or Appaloosa to make the Appaloosa anti-Nib line less effective, and to make them have to kind of play into Nib more or run some weaker cards to play around Nib. I wasn't expecting them to like limit Dormouse or put all of the starters to 2 or anything like that, and I don't think that's actually necessary. But I was hoping they would kind of tamp the power level down a little bit with some of these generic cards that are just long since overdue to be banned anyways, have been problems for a long time now, and just, I mean, free resources out of one spot in the extra deck, and obviously Appaloosa has been one of the 4 horsemen of the end board for a long time, for so long that for a long time it wasn't even 4 horsemen, and that they've changed. Appaloosa is a crazy fucking card, and I get it. There's this nice alt art of Appaloosa, and they kind of want us to be able to play with that because they sold that to us as a random drop from packs. But I think it's long since time for Appaloosa to go, and I'd like Link Decoder to go too, because it's just a little bit too strong in the Malice deck. And like, there are other things you can do with the Malice combo if you get rid of Link Decoder. It doesn't make the deck unviable. But, yeah, it's really frustrating that they're only unhitting a couple of non-entity cards rather than hitting Malice more directly. I don't think Ryziel necessarily needs a hit. I think maybe it would behoove them to do something like 7th Tachyon to 1, like they did in OCG and TCG, but just because then you have to run 7th Ascension to play 7th Tachyon, and you're much weaker into Droll. But like, I wouldn't want a direct hit on the Ryziel cards any more than I'd want a direct hit on the Malice cards. And honestly, if Ryziel remains untouched, it's the fairest tier 1 deck that we've had in a long time. So like, I think Ryziel is progress. I just think Malice is a toxic deck, and I think Malice is an especially toxic deck in ranked ladder Best of 1, because you're either playing Malice and sacking people every time you go first unless they sack you because they had Lancia, or you're not playing Malice and you're getting sacked by Lancia every time you lose the coin toss unless you're running Lancia, in which case you're getting sacked every time you run Lancia, and you're also sacking people with Called by the Grave. Like, it just creates these really unfun mini games all over the format that are entirely secondary to the enjoyment of playing Yu-Gi-Oh! And there's not like a choke point in the Malice combo. Like, with Ryziel, they have ways to play around different hand traps, but like, take a look at my Fiendsmith Ryziel list. Like, you're always trying to go through Duo Drive into Detonator, and the Duo Drive can be impermed even if you have Cross Up, and can and some people don't even run cross in the Fiendsmith variant. And I mean, even in the Ryziel deck, a lot of your play around Nibiru plays don't actually give you the full board under Nibiru, whereas the Malice, you get the full setup. It's not really about the board in Malice's case, but you get the full setup off of your starter plus extender that plays around 2 hand traps. Like, it's crazy. It's crazy. It's way too powerful. It's way too hard to stop. So it's really frustrating that they're not doing anything to address it in the ban list. Block Dragon to 3, that's kind of cool. Add Emancipator Duelist, another Rock Duelist, another Degenerate Duelist will probably find some use for Block Dragon, but it's not going to be a huge part of the metagame. I don't think it's been doing anything at 1. I haven't seen it in a long time. I probably saw it this month, but I haven't seen it in a long time. And Brilliant Fusion is probably a sign that the Gem Knight cards are coming, and that's fine. Like, maybe people will play Gem Knight engines and other stuff for a little while, but neither of these are that impactful, and I would have liked to see something more impactful. Like, if this was all that came off the list, that would be fine, but they should have hit some stuff. They should have hit something out of the Fiendsmith, or out of the Malice deck, and they probably should have hit something out of the Ryziel deck. And like, it's also kind of crazy that the Fiendsmith engine is going around here with Lacrima still unbanned, and the only hit is 2 Engraver. Like, they could get rid of an Engraver or a Lacrima or a Moon. I guess with Ryziel having Exiton Knight, getting rid of Moon now has the least impact, but it would still be impactful for when Mitsurugi comes out. So like, you know, I think it would be fine to hit Moon. I've kind of waffled on that because I like playing the Fiendsmith Pure deck so much, but Moon is actually the card that you get the most value out of in splashing the Fiendsmith engine. So I think I'm not saying I definitely absolutely want Lacrima banned, because that does remove the OTK from Fiendsmith, but like, it's kind of crazy that this card is still legal, and Fiendsmith is still being splashed in everything, and this card is part of the reason. And I think it would still be an incredibly splashable engine even without this card, so I don't think it would be that big a deal to ban Lacrima. Yeah, I mean, that's about all I have for the video. It's a really small ban list. There aren't a lot of implications to the ban list. The format will continue to be Ryziel Malice format, but it's not got me excited for this next coming month of Yu-Gi-Oh! Because that's just more getting sacked by Malice. You know, I don't hate it, this format, because Ryziel is still a big player in the format, and Blue Eyes is a big player in the format, and it's a good deck to face against. And you know, I respect Branded too much to say anything bad about it, because those Brandies are really some of the best duelists out there if they really focused on their deck. But yeah, it's a little bit disappointing that we have a non-list ban list, you know. Yeah, that's about all. Thanks for watching. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe, and bye!